Welcome to the sixth lecture of electric power system. Here we are going to talk about the various systems of power transmission. So the lecture overview goes like this. First we will talk about what are the various systems of power transmissions are there, and then we will be comparing the conductor material that is used in overhead system. So the various systems of power transmission, generally we use three-phase, three-wire AC system, and that is universally adopted for transmission system. Three-phase, three-wire system. So we have to remember that it is basically three-phase, three-wire AC system which is universally adopted. For what? For transmission. Okay. So three-phase, three-wire AC system is universally adopted for the transmission system. Other systems are used under special circumstances. So whenever the circumstance arises, then you can use other type of systems. So these systems are classified into various types. Let us see one by one. So among DC system, so one system we have DC. So the power supply is DC supply. So in the DC supply you have DC two-wire system. DC two-wire system. Then you have DC two-wire with midpoint earthed. So you have a two-wire with midpoint earthed. Third, DC three-wire system. So here instead of two-wire we are using three-wire. Then you have AC system, AC, and that is a single phase. So here you have an AC system where the AC is of single phase in nature. So the first category you have single phase two-wire system. Then you have single phase two-wire with midpoint earthed. So you will be earthing the midpoint, and here you have two-wire and the system is single phase AC system. Then you have single phase three-wire system. Now here we have used single phase. Now we will be using two phase. Both are in AC system. So two phase three-wire, and then we will use two-phase four-wire system. After that, we will discuss the three-phase AC systems, among which three-phase three-wire and three-phase four-wire. So again I am discussing here that the three-phase three-wire system, three-phase three-wire AC system is universally adopted. So generally we adopt three-phase three-wire system. Now, what is the criteria to determine the best system? Among the various type of systems available, how do you determine which system is best? So the best system can be determined from the cost of conductor material. So what is the cost of the conductor material? So this cost is basically determined from the volume of the conductor material used. So if the cost has to come down, the volume has to be minimum. So the best system is the one which has the minimum cost. So the best system is the one which has the minimum cost. And this minimum cost can arise only when you have the minimum volume of the conductor material. So in the comparing basis, now you have a too many type of a system. How do you compare? We compare keeping equal maximum stress on the dielectric. So one factor that we have taken, what is the factor we have taken? The factor that we have taken is this. The factor that we have taken is equal maximum stress on the dielectric. Now the question arises like, why only this particular factor has been taken into consideration, that equal maximum stress on the dielectric? We have seen that as the voltage increases, the transmitted power can increase. But up to what level of the voltage can we increase? So the voltage can be increased up to a particular level which do not disrupt this dielectric, that we have talked in the previous lecture. That the level of the voltage we have to increase till where the dielectric is not punctured. Till where the dielectric is not punctured. So we have taken the comparing basis. So the comparing basis that we have taken is this factor. Equal maximum stress on the dielectric. Now two cases may occur. What are the two cases that we have? Generally two cases will be there. The two cases are, first is overhead system. So first is overhead transmission line or overhead system. So here the maximum disruptive stress exists between the conductor and the earth. So here you have, this is your line and this is your earth or the neutral wire and this is earth head. Okay, so you can consider this to be neutral or earth, and so the maximum disruptive stress occur between these two conductors. Maximum disruptive stress exists between the conductor and the earth. So the comparing basis would be maximum voltage between a conductor and the earth. So maximum voltage between the conductor and the earth. So here you take Vm and then you ground this. So the maximum voltage between the conductor and earth would be the comparison basis for the overhead system. So the next system that we can have is the underground system. So these are basically the cables. So underground cables are the underground system. So here the chief stress occurs between the conductors. So you have conductor 1, this is your line number 1, this is your line number 2. So the maximum stress occur between this. Okay. Here in overhead system we have discussed, this is your line, and this is your neutral, and this is your earth, right? So the maximum stress occur between the conductor and the earth. But in underground system, your chief stress will occur between the conductors. That is the difference. Now the basis, what is the basis? Maximum potential difference between conductor. Here what is the basis? Maximum voltage between conductor and the earth. So here we have taken conductor and earth. Here we have taken between conductors. So this is the difference between an overhead system and underground system. Now in order to determine the criteria to determine the best system, we have to make some assumptions in each cases. So what are the assumptions that we will make in each cases? First, the power, that is the transmitted power, is same at each system. So the power to be transmitted for each system will be same. Second, the distance of transmission remains the same. So the distance for which the power has to be transmitted for the L meters will be the same. Third, the line losses will be the same. So the line losses is basically I square into R. So this R will remain the same for all the conductors. Fourth, maximum voltage occur between conductor and earth, because here we are talking first for the overhead system. In this lecture we will focus more in the overhead system, and so lecture number 6 will be overhead system and lecture number 7 will be underground system. So these assumptions that we are taking, all assumptions except this assumption conductor and earth, here will be between conductors. So here will be between conductors for lecture number 7. So in lecture number 7, your underground system is there. So maximum voltage will be there between conductors. That is the difference. So all the assumptions, please look into it. Same power, same distance, same losses, and the maximum voltage between conductor and earth are same, which is we are discussing for the overhead system. So first in lecture number 6, we will focus on the overhead system. So this lecture will be focusing on the overhead system, and in the lecture number 7 we'll focus on the underground system. So here you can see the overhead transmission line. that is flowing the power, through which the power is transmitted. So we have seen that in overhead system or the underground system, there can be different ways by which the power can be transmitted. So here we have first taken a DC system. So first we have taken a DC system. What type of DC system? It is two wire. It is two wire. And in this system, there is one conductor which is earthed. There is one conductor which is earthed. So you have to take a DC system which is a two wire and one conductor is earthed. So here you can see that this is your two wire. First wire is here, second wire is here. And one conductor is earthed, this is your earth. Correct? And the maximum voltage Vm is between the conductor and the earth. So here you have your earth is connected with the other conductor. So this is your earth and this is connected with the other conductor. So your maximum voltage is between conductor, or you can see conductor and earth. Or you can say conductor and earth. This is your DC system. So the power that has to be transmitted remains constant, and that is P. Third, if you have to determine what is the current flowing here, I1, what is the current flowing here, and you know the power is P and the maximum voltage is Vm, so the load current would be I1 is equal to P by Vm. So if you know the power P and Vm being the voltage, then the load current I1 is equal to P by Vm. Now, if we assume that the resistance of this conductor, each line conductor is R1, and you know that the resistance R is basically given as R equal to rho L by A, where R is the resistance, rho is the resistivity, L is the length of the conductor, and A is the area of cross section. Here we have used a subscript 1 to indicate this first case, to indicate the first case. So, and here you can see that everywhere we have used the subscript 1 to indicate the first case. So, R1 is basically rho L by A1. Then what is the line losses that we have? The line losses we have is, now we know that losses is I square into R. Now how many conductors we have? We have two conductors. So multiplied with 2 here, 2 I square R. Now we have taken the first case, so it is I1 R1. Correct? And you substitute the value of R1 from here in this equation. So you will get this 2 multiplied with P by Vm square into rho L by A1. Then from here you determine what is the area of the cross section A1. What is the area of the cross section A1? Then you will get the area of the cross section A1 is equal to 2P square rho L by W into Vm square. Okay. Then the volume of the conductor material. So volume, you know, area into length, and two conductors are there. So 2 into area into length. So what is volume? Volume is equal to area into length. Area into length. So area you have already calculated, and length is L multiplied with 2 because you have two conductors, one here and second here. So two conductors. So you are getting a value this. What you are getting a value? 4P square rho L square W by Vm square. So you are getting a value this. Correct? And you assume that value to be capital K. Okay? You assume that value to be capital K. So it is a usual practice to make this system as the basis for comparison with the other systems. So whatever the systems we are going to discuss here on, this system will be the basis of the comparison. So this equation you have to remember. So remember this for the time being, so that we can make all the other comparison. So 4 into P square rho L square divided by W into Vm square. That is the volume of the conductor material for our first case, that is the two-wire DC system with one conductor earthed. This will be the basis of the comparison. Now let us come to the second case then. So what is the second case? Second case is two-wire DC system midpoint earthed. So that is the difference. Earlier in the first case we have used two-wire DC system with one conductor earthed. Here we will be using midpoint earthed. So let us see how the midpoint earthed is. So here you can see that this is your conductor number 1, this is your conductor number 2 and your midpoint is here. So your midpoint is basically earthed. So this is your earth. Okay. Now this is your DC system. So this is your DC system. So you know that we have made an assumption that the Vm is the maximum voltage between a conductor and earth. Between conductor and earth, the maximum voltage is Vm. This is the overhead system. Lecture number 6, entire discussion will be based on overhead system. So in the overhead system, we have made an assumption. The first assumption is that the voltage would be between the conductor and earth, and that will be the maximum. And same amount of power will be transmitted for the same amount of length, and W will be the power loss for each cases. So here the current I2, because it is a second case, so I have used the term I2. So I2 is basically P by 2Vm, because you can see that if this Vm is the maximum amount of the voltage between the conductor and the earth, this is the Vm between conductor and earth, then 2Vm is the maximum voltage between the conductor. So what is the load current then? What is the load current? Load current is total power, that is P, divided by total voltage, that is 2Vm. Now again we will calculate the loss. So loss is I square R. We have two conductors, so multiplied with 2. It is the second case, so make this 2 here in the subscript, and then substitute the value of the current I2 from the first equation that we have got, and your R2, you know that again it is rho L by A. Now this is the second case, so make it 2 here, and then you will find the length of the conductor will remain same for all the cases. The material is same, so resistivity is same, correct? So what is the power loss you are getting? So power loss you are getting is P square rho L by 2A2 Vm square. This is the power loss. Now after getting the losses, what you will do? Similar process, you will try to determine what is this area. So area of the cross section A2, you can determine from this value to here. Then you can determine what is the volume of the conductor material. So volume is area into length. So you basically you have two conductor and multiplied with area and length. So whatever the area you have determined here, put it here in this equation, and the length you multiplied. So previously you have already assumed the value of K, that is the basis of the comparison. So here you will get a case K by 4. What is the meaning of this? It is the meaning that you are basically have 1/4 of the previous case, that is K, correct? So you are getting 25%, 1/4 is 25% of the previous case. What is the previous case? That is the basis for comparison, two-wire DC system with one conductor earthed. So you are basically K by 4 is coming here. Now we will go for the third case. So the third case is three-wire DC system. So the system is DC and basically you are using 3-wire. So let us see. So here you have the first wire, here you have the second wire, and one more wire is taken out, third one, that is from the neutral end. So this is your neutral, this is your line. So this is L1, this is L2, correct? And this is your earth. So here you are having three conductors, conductor number 1, conductor number 2, and this is your neutral conductor, correct? And your midpoint, this is the neutral or the midpoint, but we can say that it is earthed, it is earthed, okay? Now, if your load is balanced, if you have the balanced load, the current flowing through the neutral wire, will be 0. If you have the load to be balanced, so if you have a balanced load, then the neutral current will be 0, and the neutral wire cross-sectional area. So here the neutral wire cross-sectional area is half of the outer wire, any outer wire. So both outer wire is same, and the neutral wire cross-sectional area is half of any of the outer wire. 1 and 2 area is same. 1 and 2, the area is same. So half of the outer wire. Then you can see that the Vm is the maximum voltage between the conductor and the earth. That is the assumption for the overhead system. Vm is the maximum voltage between the conductor and the earth. So total voltage is 2 Vm between the two conductors. Then the load current I3, because it is the third case, we have taken the third case. So load current is total power P divided by the total amount of the voltage, 2 Vm between the conductors. Now, how do you determine the losses? Again, we will determine the loss as I square R. How many conductors are there? You have 2 conductors, and plus you have a conductor here, but here there is no current flowing. Here the neutral current is 0 because the system is balanced. So there will be no losses. So here 2 times your third case is there, so make it R3. So you are getting P square rho L to Vm square into A3. Now similarly, in the previous case, whatever we have done is to find the value of A3. So determine the value of A3 then. So the area of the cross section A3 you can determine from here to here, taking the LHS and the RHS side, one side. So you will get the volume of the conductor material. So in order to get the volume of the conductor material, we know that volume is area into length, but now make a special note that this neutral wire is not carrying any current, In is 0, but it is having some volume, and we have assumed that it is half of the outer wire. So this is 2 times area into length plus 0.5 area into length, correct? Because the neutral wire is 1/2 of the outer wire, and 2 area into length will be the outer wire. So 2 wires from here and half from the neutral wire. So you are getting 2.5 times the area into length. So if you find out what is the value of the volume of the conductor material in the comparison basis, you will get 5/16 into K. Please calculate this and try to find out. So it will be 5/16 into K. What is K? K is the comparison basis for the first system. So this is the 3-wire DC system. So next system we are going to discuss is single phase. So now all DC system we have discussed. Now we will start from AC system. Now we'll start with AC system. In AC system you can have single phase, 2 phase or 3 phase. So these are the 3 probabilities of AC system. So here we are discussing the first AC system case, that is a single phase 2-wire AC system with one conductor earthed. So you will, how many conductors are there? You will basically have two conductors. Two wires are there and one conductor you will be taking the earth. But the system is AC and not the DC. So let us see. So here you have two conductor 1 and 2 and one conductor, any conductor you take, so two conductor you have taken and this is given to be the earth. So now understand this is an AC system. This is an AC system and not the DC system. So whatever the calculation we are going to do, their calculation has to be in the RMS quantity, root mean square quantity, right? The root mean square. So assumption is Vm is the maximum amount of the voltage, between the conductor and the earth. That is for overhead system, whatever the assumption that we have done. Vm is the maximum voltage between the conductor and the earth. Now the RMS value, you know that it is Vm by root 2 and this is what we are going to use, Vm by root 2. Now we don't use Vm here, we will not use Vm because this is the maximum value and in AC quantity we deal with RMS quantity. So RMS quantity is Vm by root 2. Now the power factor of the load has to be taken into consideration, that is cos phi. In case of DC system, you know that there is no term called power factor because your cos phi is equal to 1 for a DC system. The current and voltage are in phase with each other for a DC system. But for an AC system, you have to take the value of the power factor of the load. So that is equal to cos phi. Now, similarly, determine the current I4. What is the current flowing I4? So, you know that the equation for the current I is equal to the power divided by the voltage and cos phi component. So, this voltage is basically the RMS. This voltage you are taking the RMS, right? So, here you put it Vm by root 2 cos phi and P is the power that is constant throughout our comparison basis. So what we are getting? We are getting root 2 times the power divided by Vm into cos phi. Then as we have determined the line losses we will be determining. So here we have two conductor 1 and 2. So 2 times I square into R. So this is our fourth case, I4 square R4 will calculate. So we are basically getting this value. From this value we will try to find out the area of the cross section A4. What is the area of the cross section A4? So determine the area of the cross section. Area of the cross section is this quantity 4P square rho L divided by cos square phi W into Vm square. Next thing we are going to determine is the volume. So what is the volume? We have two conductors and area into length, A4 into length. So determine the volume then. The volume of the conductor material after having some manipulation, we are getting 2K by cos square phi. So the comparison remains the same with the DC 2 wire 1 conductor earthed. So you are getting 2K by cos square phi. 2K by cos square phi. Now here you can see that what will happen with the power factor. So if the power factor cos square phi value is increasing, your volume will decrease. So power factor plays an important role. Power factor of the load plays a very important role for the volume of the conductor to be used for a single phase system. Now the next discussion that we are going to do here is midpoint earthed. So earlier we are discussing single phase, 2 wire, 1 conductor earthed. Now we will discuss for midpoint earthed. So here you can see that this is your conductor 1, this is your conductor 2 and this is your midpoint, which is your earthing. Correct? Now you have for overhead system, the maximum voltage is Vm here between the conductor and the earth. Vm between conductor and earth. This is the assumption. We can't change the assumption, right? So 2 Vm is basically the maximum voltage between the conductors. So between the conductor, the maximum voltage is 2 Vm. So what is the RMS value then? So RMS value is 2 Vm by root 2. So don't do Vm by root 2. It is false. For this case, you have to multiply it with 2 times here, 2 Vm by root 2, then it will be correct. So RMS voltage, whatever you will be getting, is equal to root 2 times Vm. So you have 2 conductor and the midpoint is earth. So this voltage is basically 2 Vm. This voltage is basically 2 Vm. So in order to determine the RMS quantity, you have to give 2 Vm, not Vm, 2 Vm divided by root 2. So you are getting root 2 Vm. So as you know, the second things that we will be going is to determine the load current. So current, as I said, will determine with the power divided by V RMS into cos phi. Power factor of the load will remain same, cos phi. Power remains the same, P. So this V RMS has changed now. It is root 2 Vm. Root 2 Vm. Then you will determine the losses. So how many conductor you have? You have 2 conductor. Conductor number 1 and conductor number 2. So loss is equal to I square R. 2 conductor is there 2, and you have the fifth case. So 2 I phi square into R phi. So put the value of current whatever you have got, okay, and R, you know the value, you have to substitute as rho L by A. Now it is your fifth case. Length of the conductor remains the constant. The material remains the constant. So rho L by A phi. So you will be getting the power loss equation is W is here. So the next thing that you will do is to determine the area of the cross section of the conductor. So determine the area of the cross section from this equation. So area of the cross section you will be getting P square rho L by W Vm square cos square phi. Then you are going to determine the volume. Volume is area into length. So A phi into length, and you have 2 conductors multiplied with 2. So you do that and you will be getting K by 2 cos square phi. So our comparison K, now it is giving K by 2 cos square phi. That is the volume. So again, if you increase the cos square phi, the volume will decrease. Okay. Now an extra term 2 has also appeared here. Next discussion that we are going to do is 3 wire. So we have discussed the 2 wire system, single phase. Now we'll discuss the single phase 3 wire system. So here you can see that here you have the conductor number 1, conductor number 2, and the neutral here you have taken the third conductor. This is your earth. Correct? Then also we know that this neutral conductor is half, area of cross section is half into outer conductor, half into outer. And if the system is balanced, the current through the neutral wire will be 0. The current through the neutral wire will be 0 because we have considered that there is a balanced load. There is a balanced load. So if the load is balanced, there will be no current flowing through the neutral. Now you know that the assumption Vm is the maximum voltage between a conductor and earth. So total voltage is 2 Vm between the conductor. So again you determine the RMS value. So RMS value is 2 Vm by root 2. 2 Vm is the maximum voltage divided by root 2. Then you are getting root 2 into V. So what is the thing that you will do next? You determine the current. So determine the current then in this case I6, because this is our 6th point. We are discussing the 6th. So I6 is equal to, now determine the power is constant divided by V RMS into cos phi. So V RMS you have got root 2 into Vm. Cos phi is same for all the cases. So we determine the load current. Now determine the line losses. So line losses W, you have how many conductors you have? You have two conductors, because here the neutral current is 0. So will not take into consider this, determine the losses. So 2 into I6 case square into R6. I6 you substitute from here. This is your I6 and R6 is equal to rho L by A6. Sixth case, then you will get this equation. So after that, you have to determine what is the area of this cross section A6 from this equation. Take out A6 from this equation. So you will get the area of the cross section A6 as this. Next, what we are going to determine the volume. Next, we are going to determine the volume. Now you have two conductors, 1 and 2. Here, although there is no current flowing, IN is 0, but there will be weight 0.5 times. So it will be 2.5. 2 for the outer two, and then. So this is the area into length, and the discussion is the sixth case. I say A6 into length. So here you will get 2.5 A6 into length. You are getting 5K by 8 cos square phi. So the volume of the conductor material that you are getting is 5 times the basis comparison divided by 8 times the cos square phi. Correct? So this is a single phase 3-wire system. Now we have completed our discussion on single phase system. So we have discussed DC first, then we have discussed single phase AC. Now we'll discuss two-phase AC. So the first discussion will be two-phase 4-wire AC system. So how many wires we are using? 4 wire now. So let us see the configuration. So here you can see that this is your first wire, this is your second wire, this is your third wire, and this is your fourth wire. So this is the fourth wire. And how many phases are there? 2 phase. So you are basically taking the 2 phase from this. So what are the phase you have? You can have a phase AB or CD. So these are the 2 phases that you can take out, AB or CD. Where is A? A is here. A, B, C and D. Correct? Now, as we know that the VM and the neutral point is earthed. Neutral point is earthed. VM is the maximum voltage between a line and earth. Line and earth. So maximum voltage is between line and earth. Correct? So the total voltage between the phases is 2 VM. So 2 VM, you can see that is the total voltage, maximum voltage, divided by root 2, you will get the RMS. So 2 VM by root 2, you will get the RMS quantity. That is equal to root 2 into VM. Now, one thing more, we have seen that the power transmitted has to be constant. Then, this is a 2-phase system, and we have told that the power for single phase has to be constant, right? So, power supplied per phase would be P by 2. So, P is the total power. So, we have 2 phases. So, it is equal to P by 2. Okay. Now, you determine the current. Now, we are in the 7th case. We are discussing the 7th case. So, the current is basically the total power divided by the RMS voltage into the power factor cos phi. So total power has now P by 2, power P by 2, because P is the total power and we have 2 phases, so P by 2. RMS voltage we have determined, that is equal to root 2 into Vm. Cos phi remains the constant for each and of the cases depending upon the load. So we have assumed that for the same load condition what is happening. So the load current you are getting P by 2 root 2 cos phi. Next thing what you will determine? You will determine the losses. So losses, we know that loss is I square into R, and we have 4 wire, so it is 4. Case number 7, so it's I7 square R7. I7 we have already calculated. R7 is equal to rho L by A7. After substituting this value, you will get the line losses as P square rho L to A7 Vm square cos square phi. So trying to determine the A7 from here, this is the area of the cross section. So the area of the cross section that will determine A7 is, we'll get this. Next, we'll determine the volume. Volume is area into length. So A7 into length. And how many conductors are there? So this 4 conductors. So that you do it. 4 into A7 into length is the volume of the conductor material. So you'll get K by 2 cos square phi. So here, after calculation for the 4-wire 2-phase system, we are getting K, that is the comparison basis, divided by 2 times the cos square phi. This is we are getting for 2-phase 4-wire system, and this was our 7th point of discussion. Now we'll discuss for 3-wire system. This is again the 2-phase 3-wire system. So here you can see that this is your 1 phase and this is your 2nd phase, and you have 3 wires. So this is wire number 1, this is wire number 2, and this is wire number 3. So you have 3 wire. So all the 3 wires are connected at this point. So this is basically your neutral, and your neutral is basically earthed. So this was the configuration for the 2-phase 3-wire system. We know that for the overhead system, the maximum voltage Vm is between the conductor and the earth. So this is your conductor and this is your earth. So maximum voltage Vm is here, right? Maximum voltage Vm is here. Now, if you want to determine the RMS voltage between any outgoing conductor and the neutral, it is equal to Vm by root 2. So the conductor is this, and neutral is basically earthed. So this is the conductor. What is the RMS voltage between these two? That is equal to Vm by root 2, because Vm is the maximum voltage between a conductor and the earth. Then what is the current flowing here between the outer conductor? Current is equal to the total power. Current is equal to the total power. So the total power is basically P by 2, because it is the 2-phase, 2 by P, divided by the V RMS into the cos of phi, right? So P by 2 because it is 2-phase, P by 2 because it is 2-phase, V RMS you have determined Vm by root 2. So just put it in the equation, you will get P by root 2 Vm cos phi. Now you have to determine what is the current in the neutral wire. So current in this neutral wire is basically the under root of the outer 2. So the case is 8, I8 square in the outer 2 conductors. This will give you the neutral current. Okay. So neutral current is root 2 times the outer wire current. Then you assume that the current density is constant and the area of cross section of the neutral wire is root 2 times the either of the outers. So we have made an assumption that the neutral wire is root 2 times the outer. Okay, any of the outer. This is the assumption that we have taken for 2-phase 3-wire system. Then the resistance of the neutral wire would be then, because we have seen that the resistance is R, and here we have taken root 2 times either of the outer, so it will be root 2 by root 2, okay, for the neutral wire. Then what is the line losses that we are getting? Line losses we will calculate for the outer wire 1 and 2 separately, and the neutral wire 3 separately. So this is current is due to the outer wire, 2 times I8 square into R8. This is for the outer wire, and this is the case for the neutral wire. This is for the neutral. Okay, so you are getting I8 square R8 2 plus root 2. This is the line losses. Now we have to substitute the value of I8 that we have got in this equation. So what we are doing, we substitute and then we are getting the value of W as this. Okay, we are getting the losses as this. Then we will determine the area of the cross section A8 from this equation. So area of the cross section A8, you are getting this. Next you will determine the volume. So you will determine the volume. So volume is basically, you know, this is for the outer case, 2A8 into L, outer case, and root 2 times A8 into L is for the neutral wire. So substitute the value of the area of the cross section A8, then you will get that the comparison basis you are getting 1.457 into K, that is the comparison basis, divided by cos square phi. So this is the volume of the conductor material to be used for your this particular case. Now next case that we are going to take is 3-phase. So we have covered single phase, we have covered 2-phase. Now we are entering for the 3-phase. Okay, now we are entering, and all these cases are AC. All these cases are AC. DC we have separately discussed. Right? Now we'll discuss the 3-phase system. So in the 3-phase we are discussing the 3-wire system first. So you know that the 3-phase system can be star connected or delta connected. We have discussed this in the previous all lectures that it can be star connected or it can be delta connected. So let us assume any one. So we have taken star case here. So this is your star case we have taken. And for overhead system, we know that Vm is the maximum voltage between any conductor line and the earth. Okay, so here you have 3 wire. So this is your first wire, this is your second wire, and this is your third wire. So all are connected in the neutral. All are connected in the neutral, and which is earthed. So all are connected in the neutral. There is no 4th wire. Only 3 wire is there. So as it is a 3-phase system, so the power would be P by 3 and the RMS voltage would be Vm by root 2. So Vm is the maximum voltage here. So Vm by root 2 would be the RMS voltage, and P by 3 would be the power. In 2-phase system we have seen that the power was P by 2. In 3-phase system we have P by 3. So start calculating then. So first you will determine the load current. So current is total power divided by RMS voltage into the power factor. So total power is basically P by 3, and RMS voltage you have calculated here V by M by root 2 multiplied with the cos phi, that is the power factor of the load. Then you will determine the losses. So loss is basically I square into R. We are in the 9th case, so put it 9, and there are 3 conductors we have, so 3. Okay, substitute the value of the current I9 and the resistance, that is equal to rho L by A9. So you are getting the line loss equation is this one. Then you will be determining the value of the area of the cross section A9 from here. Okay, and then you will determine the volume. So volume is basically area into length. How many conductors are there? 3 conductors are there. So that you will determine. So 3 into A9 into length, you will get the volume of the conductor as this. What is that? So it is equal to 0.5 times the comparison basis K divided by the cos square phi. So this we are getting for our 9th point of discussion, that is a three-phase, three-wire system. Next discussion we are going to do is three-phase, four-wire system. So now we'll discuss for four-wire. So where from the fourth wire will come? So fourth wire will come from the neutral. So fourth wire is coming from the neutral. Okay. So this is your first wire, this is your second wire, and this is your third wire. And the fourth wire is coming from the neutral. So here the line losses will be the same as three-phase, three-wire system. The reason being is the neutral current is zero. Neutral current is zero. Why neutral current is zero? Because your system is balanced. So balanced load, your neutral current is zero. So there is no role of this in calculation of the line losses. So simply you can calculate the line losses as this. Then you will determine the area of the cross section from here. So area of cross section is this. You can calculate. Then you will determine what is the volume. So volume is now how many conductors you have. So 3 conductors from the outer and 0.5 conductor from the neutral. So this is your neutral and this is your outer conductor. So get 3.5 times the 10th case A10 into length. So you are basically getting the volume as 7 times the comparison basis K divided by 12 into cos square phi. So this is the comparison basis you are getting for volume of the conductor material for three-phase, four-wire system. So that we complete our lecture for the overhead system, and then in the next lecture we will take the underground system, and similarly we are going to compare our all discussion. Thank you.